We're gonna go through it really quick.
Not seen yet. You did not see the tweet earlier.
We're gonna go through it.
Follow me on Instagram. You did not see the story share.
I'll go through it really quick. Top lane, GPZ tier. Tristana top, Vayne top.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I feel like Arn shouldn't be able to get too much done in the early game. Generally speaking, Wonpong and Yao should be able to play fairly safe. The thing I'm scared about is later on, I'm going to hold that thought. Bechuan is sneaking into the mid lane here.
He puts Renekton in S tier though. I will say this list to me is just like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but Renekton's in S tier, so that's a win. Guess a good jungle. I know I could listen to his reasoning, but I'm just gonna look at it, what I see. Jungle. I mean, every single patch, every patch, LS has Fiddlesticks, Karthus, Ivern in S tier, and Udyr in S tier. Every patch, every single patch.
Let's go, man.
He fucking loves those champs. I have not seen it. I can't remember any of his things where Fiddle, Karthus, Ivern, Udyr weren't S tier because of jungle clear. Normally he has Shyvana up here, doesn't he? Where did he put Shyvana? Oh, B tier? He thinks Vi is C tier? Vi is so fucking strong. Oh, but this is 13.3. But I don't know what the changes are for 13.3. Amumu in don't tier? Yo, Spica. I don't think Wukong is... I don't know. I'm going off current patch, so I don't know what's changing in jungle. Because they said they're going to do something to early game ganking. So maybe this is related to that. I don't know what they're actually doing. They said they're nerfing early game ganking. But you can put Lee Sin in F tier until the buffs. Taric jungle. This is competitive tier list, so yeah, Diana being don't tier is kind of okay. Depends if you have Yasuo or you have Yasuo angle. Mid lane, Tristana is S tier. He's still preaching Ivern mid. This one doesn't look that bad. Just some of these champs in here I just don't think are... Like, it's a competitive tier list, and some of the champs that I'm seeing in the tier list cannot be picked in competitive. They just can't. Like, Vladimir mid in competitive, you know, you're under your tower losing every Drake. Like, unplayable game. Taric jungle, your bot lane is being dove so many times that they're gonna be in a fucking Grand Canyon. Like, top lane champs, like Vayne top in competitive. Are you fucking... Like, that champ is so situational. Like, this Vayne... I'll take Vayne, for example. You know how situational that champ is? Vayne top can work in, like... 1 to 5% of scenarios. Maybe if they have like Sion top, Olaf jungle, and a low CC mid that doesn't have much range, like
low CC.
See
your take on all 5 roles.
I don't know why I'm thinking of Ryze right now, but we'll say Ryze, or LeBlanc's a bit hard. Let's just say Ryze. It's fine. If they have something like this and like a Nautilus support, then yeah, Vayne can be played, you know. But can it be played against Ziggs, Jace, Nami? No, it can't. Can it be played against Azir, Lucian, Yumi, Irelia? No, it can't. So like that's the problem I have with some of these champs, because I feel like a lot of these champs are really situational, and you can't just pick them, you know. That's why I think sometimes in tier lists there's like blind pick champs, and then there's like counter pick champs which have situational advantages. Like, let's say Renekton is an S tier champ. Yes, it is. Renekton is an S tier champ. I agree. Okay? But if Renekton is picked and they have Gragas, for example, then Renekton then becomes like an A tier champ / B because it's countered. In a way, right? Do you get what I'm saying? But the problem I have is S tier to me sounds like a champ that can be used as a blind pick and it can be used as a counter pick. S tier is like first pick champ in my head. Like first pick. Well, the first pick, first rotation, let's say, because there's not many top laners at the first pick. But so for me, this and this and this and this and this and this and this are not first pick, first rotation, top lane champ flexible. Like Renekton, Jax, Fiora, I think, yeah. Like, it's just some of these champs in competitive just can't work. Like Vladimir top in competitive, you know, it just gets fucked. This champ just gets fucked. You have no herald fights, no dive pressure, no stacking waves top. Like Twitch top, I mean Twitch top maybe is fine if it's a melee, like again, if you're against like a melee champ and you take like Ignite and you can do something level 1, like a invade or like try to threaten something, there's something there, you know, but I just struggle to see the value of these top laners, in my opinion. Like you can tell he built top lane lists with Drutut, no offense, because there's Zeri, Samira, Twitch up here in A tier. So Drutut was like, yeah, dude, I played him in solo queue, it's broken. And it's like, yeah. And Drutut is sick in solo queue, don't get me wrong. He's fucking insane in solo queue. But like in competitive, I think it just doesn't work, you know? Like the way jungle works in competitive and the way waves work in competitive, these champs, they just no. Anyway, we'll keep going. AD carry. Where's AD carry? Karthus, Rengar, Z tier. Senna. Zaya. Rengar, Ivern. Yeah, I mean Rengar, Ivern, it's like... It's a classic, yeah. It's a classic. But isn't Rengar... Rengar Ivern just feels weak because you need levels on Rengar, I think, don't you? You need so much XP. Maybe Ivern can roam around a bit, I guess. After level 4. Come back at 6, maybe? I don't know. And then Rengar can solo play side lanes. I don't know. I haven't tried it. But, I mean, he probably has a lot of context in a lot of these things that he's breaking down. So I'm maybe missing out his arguments. But I'm just looking at this. Because I can't sit here for 30 minutes on stream watching this. So I'm just glossing over a lot of it. Jhin in don't tier, I couldn't agree more. Honestly, if there's anything we're going to agree on, Mr. LS, and the way we see the game, this is chef's kiss. Jhin, absolute dogshit champ. Completely agree. Absolutely useless. Lucian, now this is probably after the nerfs of Lucian and Nami. So I'm not sure if it's correct or not, because I don't know how big the nerfs are. But yeah, like for example, like Cho'Gath AD carry, I just, again, in competitive, if you're playing Cho'Gath AD carry against like, like this must be with like Senna against the melee support, you know? Then maybe it's playable, you know? But if you're telling me that it's just, you can just pick Cho'Gath AD carry, then no, you can't. Okay, let's just do support quickly. He is convinced that Zoe support is OP. I just think it's like if this was solo queue tier list, there's a lot of champions here which I could make arguments for. Like Janna in solo queue is really good. Janna in solo queue, pretty OP. Sona in solo queue can be good, yeah. Xerath in solo queue, good. But just in competitive, I just don't see it. I can't see it. Maybe I'm blind, but if these champs get picked, they just don't offer anything in like the way the game's played. And the game is has a lot less variables in pro play than it does in solo queue. And in solo queue, those variables can be swayed in your favor with champions like Zoe support, you know, or Janna. But in competitive, the game is so like what's the word? Like figured out that there is inevitabilities that'll happen, such as, you know, early game late invades, early invades from like Elise, threatens of dives that have to be covered, and then lane swaps or herald fights. The game is way more formulate, structured, and for champions to fit in this structure, they have to meet criterias. Okay, and if it doesn't meet the criterias, like Zoe support is not going to be able to provide much in a herald fight. In a straight 5v5, because it's like level 6 Zoe support with no damage, it's just going to do nothing. Whereas if the enemy team has like a Rakan, or like a melee support, or like a Lulu with her AD carry, the amount they can provide in a structured environment is more, you know? You know what I'm saying? And that's why some of these champs just don't, like, fit, you know? But anyway, like, I have an opinion on how the game should be played, right? And other people have other opinions, and so when they see champions, they think they offer different things to what I think, maybe. So me and Alex just see the game a lot different. I think, like, if there's a spectrum of how the game should be played, right? If you just imagine how the game should be played on a spectrum, I think we might be at opposite ends. Or, like, close to opposite ends.